It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Mark Twain. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time, and your government when it deserves it. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Suppose you were an idiot, and suppose you were a member of Congress, but I repeat myself. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. A man who carries a cat by the tail learns something he can learn in no other way. In the first place, God made idiots. That was for practice. Then he made school boards. I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. Go to heaven for the climate, hell for the company. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. Good friends, good books and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Part of the secret of a success in life is to eat what you like and let the food fight it out inside. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. The reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. It ain't those parts of the Bible that I can't understand that bother me, it is the parts that I do understand. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not.
Do the thing you fear most and the death of fear is certain.
Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. A man's character may be learned from the adjectives which he habitually uses in conversation.
What, sir, would the people of the earth be without woman? They would be scarce, sir, almighty scarce.
I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. The human race has one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. Never pick a fight with people who buy ink by the barrel. All generalizations are false, including this one. Don't let schooling interfere with your education. There is no distinctly American criminal class, except Congress. My mother had a great deal of trouble with me, but I think she enjoyed it. We have the best government that money can buy. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. Principles have no real force except when one is well fed. There are basically two types of people. People who accomplish things, and people who claim to have accomplished things. The first group is less crowded. Let us endeavor so to live so that when we come to die even the undertaker will be sorry. But who prays for Satan? Who, in 18 centuries, has had the common humanity to pray for the one sinner that needed it most? Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. It usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech.
Life would be infinitely happier if we could only be born at the age of 80 and gradually approach 18. Mark Twain.
A person who won't read has no advantage over one who can't read. Loyalty to petrified opinion never yet broke a chain or freed a human soul. Thunder is good, thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of a joy you must have somebody to divide it with. Everything human is pathetic. The secret source of humor itself is not joy but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. It's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. If the world comes to an end, I want to be in Cincinnati. Everything comes there 10 years later. Cauliflower is nothing but cabbage with a college education. I didn't attend the funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it.
Climate is what we expect, weather is what we get.
To be good is noble, but to show others how to be good is nobler and no trouble. It is by the goodness of God that in our country we have those three unspeakably precious things: freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, and the prudence never to practice either of them. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell. You see, I have friends in both places. Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been. The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. The very ink with which history is written is merely fluid prejudice. Patriot. The person who can holler the loudest without knowing what he is hollering about. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear and life stands explained. Facts are stubborn, but statistics are more pliable. Necessity is the mother of taking chances. Only one thing is impossible for God: to find any sense in any copyright law on the planet. When people do not respect us we are sharply offended, yet in his private heart no man much respects himself. Civilization is the limitless multiplication of unnecessary necessities. Everything has its limit. Iron ore cannot be educated into gold. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. Do not tell fish stories where the people know you, but particularly, don't tell them where they know the fish. I don't give a damn for a man that can only spell a word one way. A man is never more truthful than when he acknowledges himself a liar. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. Truth is mighty and will prevail. There is nothing wrong with this, except that it ain't so. I never smoke to excess. That is, I smoke in moderation, only one cigar at a time. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. It will be the greatest disappointment of my life if I don't go out with Halley's Comet. The Almighty has said, no doubt, Now here are these two unaccountable freaks. They came in together, they must go out together. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.